Good afternoon, guys. Hello. So excited to be back again. Hello, guys. I feel like I haven't taught online in a while. I've been actually teaching a lot in the studio, so it's fun to be back on here. Welcome to Bella Force. I absolutely adore Bella Force and Kelsey. They are fabulous. I'm so happy to be back on here again and teach y'all. Today is going to be all about the core, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Just make sure that everyone gets logged on. It's 1 o'clock my time. Hello, hello. Hi, Kelsey. Hi, guys. Again, so excited to be back on here. Thank you, Kelsey, for having me again. Fabrics and style. We're always looking in a mirror. We're always wanting to feel comfortable in what we're wearing. I definitely love her line. I think her materials, the shapes of especially the bras are just, everything is just so beautiful. And I feel so elegant whenever wearing them. So if you haven't taken a look, please do. My core and I. Yay! But yeah, just make sure you give it a look at. She's also collaborated with Dancewear Corner, which I'm also collaborating with, and you can go ahead and check out some of her pieces with them as well. So take a look at that. She also just posted last night, and I think the day before, that she just came out with some new stuff. Like, oh my gosh, so excited to see it. Her stuff is so simple but so elegant and put together, and I absolutely love it. And I think she's got a lot of fun things on the lineup, so just make sure you're paying attention to everything that's coming out. One of my favorite things that she just sent me that I'm pretty overusing every single day, because I do heated mat classes, I teach up to 3 Pilates classes a day, I just took a ballet class, I just got back. So this light little body mister is really amazing, and it smells like rose and mint, and I'm very, very picky on smells. A lot of smells make me sick, and this does not. I literally lather myself in it. Very, very refreshing. Kind of wakens me up. Very aromatherapy. I really, really like it. So make sure to stay tuned on that, because she has a little thing coming out soon. So that's pretty exciting. But yeah, today's all about the core. So basically, you don't need any props. You just need your body, and we're going to really fire up the abdominals. Of course, when you take a Pilates class, your abs are the number one thing that we're focusing on anyway. So all that means is that things are going to be added, more reps, holding a little longer. So if at any point you need to rest your head down, I can't see you. So when in doubt, leave it out if there's something that you just don't feel comfortable doing. I'll try and throw in as many modifications as I can, because when you're teaching on here, I don't know who's an intermediate, beginner, advanced, etc. So I'll try to keep it very versatile for everybody. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot at the end. I'll end a little early so we can answer any. And yeah, I'm excited to be on here again. And I'm wearing the Sweetheart bra in blush, my favorite, and I'm wearing the Principal leggings with the beautiful little mesh ribbon at the end, which I really, really like. And of course, my favorite thing of her line is her little logo button. I think it's super, super cute. I don't know why I'm obsessed with your little bee logo. I think it's adorable. And I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna get started. A little spritz. Rose and mint, guys, best combo. All right. Are we ready to go? Make sure everyone has a soft surface. We are going to be rolling on our spine, so that's really important that we're not rolling on anything hard. I still have my Marley underneath me. I do, even though I have access to a studio, it's nice to come in here and just work on the feet a little bit, but I have my mat. You're welcome, Kelsey. Thank you for having me again. Okay, guys, I think we're gonna get started. I like to give everyone like 5 minutes before the class, and just to make sure everyone has enough time to get on. But again, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask away, and I'll answer them at the end. And we'll save this, so if anybody wants to come back, if you're at work and couldn't tune in, all good, we'll save it so you can have it. So let's get started. Make sure you're on your mat, make sure it's centered. We're gonna go ahead and just start more of a beginner level. We're not gonna do anything fancy, just start ourselves nice and long on the mat. And just lower yourself down, centering your body, and make sure you're equally even from side to side, up to bottom, top to bottom. Very, very important. A lot of people just think the mat is cushion for our spine, but it's also, I like to think, a ruler for your alignment. So making sure that your midline, which when you hear me say midline, that's the line down the center of your body, and that's what we want to keep nice and together. All right. So let's just start with a few beginner roll-ups. So just to kind of warm up the spine, if you're haven't really done anything yet, maybe this is your first workout, instead of just throwing yourselves right into the hundreds, because we're going to be doing a lot of abdominal series today. So bring your hands above your head. You're going to peel your chin to your chest and just melt yourself forward, keeping your feet flat on the mat. If you need a little bit of help or assistance, just go ahead and place your hands behind the creases of your legs. And then just lower yourself down nice and slowly. I'm not going to use my hands to help, but if you need to, that's okay. And then just remember to just try and use your fingertips, because we're warming our abdominals up. I don't want you to rely on the hands too much. Contracting and scooping the belly, finding that neutral spine as you lie down, which we'll talk about after we do a few roll-ups. Come right back up, sitting nice and tall on those sits bones, growing through the top of your spine, and lowering down for 3 and 2 and 1. And we're only going to do 1 more of those. Then we're going to go into a little bit of breathing and abdominal, and then the contractions of the spine to make sure we're in that nice neutral position. Beautiful. Lying down, place your hands on the base of your rib cage. So just kind of, my thumbs are going to go behind the rib cage, the fingertips lie right on top. And I want to go through the breath. So I've been teaching mat classes now in the studio, but we have to wear a mask. And that's pretty complicated, especially when you're trying to breathe deeply. So just think about having a mask, and that's how deep you have to breathe. So it definitely makes me more aware of how deep I want my breath. So take a nice big inhale, and as you inhale through the nose, expand the rib cage and arch through the back. So you should have a little space or a big space behind your back. And then take a nice big exhale. As you exhale, close the rib cage. Try not to squeeze the glutes or the hamstrings. Just go into that lower belly abdominal and then tuck your spine. Now this is a tucked position, so I'm not squeezing my glutes or my hamstrings or my feet. I'm squeezing for my lower abs. And then go into a neutral position. So your tailbone is driving down and you feel like you have a tiny grape underneath your lower back. This is the position you want to keep your entire Pilates class. Okay, let's just do 2 more of those. Inhale. Rib cage expands, arch the back. Exhale. And then go through your neutral spine, tuck the pelvis. Don't squeeze your booty, just keep that relaxed. And tuck your pelvis. And then go back into that neutral spine. So tailbone is driving down, and you have a little tiny space, but you still have pressure in that lower back. 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale, contract. Push your abdominals close, push your rib cage close, tuck the belly. Try to scoop and hollow out the abdominals, and then go back into that neutral spine. This neutral position is crucial. We want to keep this the entire time. All right, let's go into our hundreds. So that's going to warm up every part of the body and really start getting everything fired up. So bring your legs into a tabletop position. Now, really make sure that the knees are directly over the hips, okay? So nothing shifts in that lower pelvis. The tailbone's driving down. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders up and look into your belly button and start pumping your arms nice and vigorously above the hips. Nice big pumps. Hundreds are a great way to get the body going and moving in the morning, afternoon. I love doing this. I prefer this over crunches just because it doesn't get too much into my neck. I'm actually feeling this in my entire body. And of course, because this is all about the core, we're going to advance it a lot today, okay? So we're going to add 2 different variations of the hundreds. So keep pumping your arms above your hips. And all I want you to do, extend the legs out and then bring them right back in. Make sure your knees are directly over your hips. Don't crunch your hip flexor. Make that open. Keep pumping your arms, extend it out, and bring it in.
Push the legs out. Keep your neutral spine. Don't arch the back. Extend the legs out, looking into your belly button, and bring it in. And extend it out. And bring it in. We have 2 more, and then we're going to go on to our second variation. Bring it in and extend it out. Last one. Bring it in and then keep it out. Stop your arms. Turn your feet out. Heel beats. We beat the heels for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then let's wrap. We wrap the legs for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax your head down. Good. And if you felt any tension in that neck, just remember that comes with time and strength. But maybe lower your head down halfway through the exercise and then just peel it right back up instead of working through that strain. So just make sure you're turning your head from side to side, releasing any tension that you might have built up in the 100, which is totally okay. And we're going to go into that roll up. So if you are okay with an advanced version, bring your legs nice and long on the mat, hugging the feet together and the feet are flexed. The more beginner way of doing this is just to keep your legs flat on the mat like we started the class. So it's up to you which one you feel comfortable doing. Bring your hands above the ceiling, and then you're just going to peel your chin to your chest and melt yourself up nice and slowly. Keep that contraction in the lower belly. The hands go past the feet, and then you contract it down nice and slowly, plugging the shoulders onto the back of the body. Keep that engagement going. We come right back up, peeling yourself up, going past your toes, and then melting yourself down nice and slowly. Really think about hollowing out the abdominals and don't let your rib cage go as you lower down. You come right back up. So a lot of people, they want to flare out their ribs when we hit the mat, and that's relaxing. So we don't want to relax. We want to keep that engaged. Good. And I'm going to add an advanced variation. So if you're not comfortable with bringing your heads over your feet over your head, then maybe go ahead and skip this one and continue to do a few roll-ups. But I'm going to show an example of the next exercise. So you're going to peel your chin to your chest, continuing the roll-up into a roll-over. You're going to roll yourself down nice and slowly onto the mat. Now I'm going to continue it. I'm going to bring the legs up to the ceiling, and they're going to come behind me. I'm going to open my legs shoulder distance apart, using my lower abdominals to really squeeze and lower down with control. I'm going to continue that circle of the legs onto the mat, close my legs together, bring my arms up, and roll myself up. So this is a roll up into a roll over. So it's a variation of both, and we're going to melt ourselves down, or you can just continue doing some roll ups. Bring your legs up if you're comfortable. They come right up. Legs open, shoulder distance apart, flex the feet. Melt your tailbone down with control. No tension in the shoulders, no tension in the face. Circle the legs down onto the mat, they hug together, and then you continue the movement of the abdominals. Good, we're just going to do one more of those. So those abs should start to be really firing up as you continue that controlled movement. Try not to be clunky with any of that rolling down motion. We want to keep it nice, slow, and controlled. I find that going slower really activates the tummy more than speeding through an abdominal work. Good, and then just roll yourself up nice and tall. Beautiful, guys. So if you went and did into that advanced variation, good for you. Really, really hard. And just lower yourself down, slow and controlled, for single leg circle. So because this is an abdominal challenge, we're going to go ahead and bring the right leg up to the ceiling. Now that left leg, either A, stays planted, B, stays long, or C, for that core challenge, hover it 2 inches off the mat while we do our single leg circles. So that stays nice and still. Abdominals are in and up. We're going to circle the right leg in towards the body, down, around, and stop at your center. Down, around, and 2. Down, around, and 3. Down, around, and 4. Don't move your belly. Down, around, and 5. Let's reverse. Now, if you have that leg 2 inches off the mat, really make sure that maybe your circles aren't as big, because I want to keep that neutral spine nice and strong. Good. Down, around, and 4. Last one. Down, around, and 5. Scissor switch the legs. Hover, flatten, or bend. Up to you. Here we go. We circle the leg in towards the body. Down, around, stop your center. Relaxing the shoulders, no tension. Down, around, and 2. Down, around, and 3. Nice long leg. Down, around, and 4. Keep your neutral spine. Down, around, and 5. Reverse the leg. Away from the body, down, around, and up. Down, around, and 2. down, around, and 3, down, around, and 4. You're not done, so don't put that leg down. Come up, grab behind it. Give me a few scissors. We pull, pull, and switch. Pull, pull, and switch. When you're doing scissors, remember to pull from the abdominals. Try not to pull from just the arms. For 5, 4, 3, 2. You're not done. Bring your legs into a tabletop position. Bring your hands by your shins and rock up to a sitting position and find your balance if you can. That was a lot to grasp. So make sure if you needed to rock up and put your feet down, it's okay. But we're just in a rolling ball position. And if you need to place the hands behind the creases of the legs, for a beginner option, that is one of them. But for more advanced, grab the shins. Roll your shoulders back. Look into your belly button. Your feet are balancing and you're on the tip of your tailbone. Look into your belly button and rock it back to the tips of your shoulder blades. Come right back up. Find your balance. Looking into your core. We rock it back and rock it up. Finding your balance. Rock it back and rock it up. Nice long body. Rock it back and rock it up. Ooh, there we go. Rock it back and rock it up. One more. Rock it back and rock it up. Beautiful, because we're going to really pound out those abdominals, guys. We're not going to rest it down, but if you need to rest, go ahead and do so, but I'm not going to do it. So you do what you need. Bring your right leg into your chest, extend your left leg long. You're going to lower yourself down halfway to the mat to begin our abdominal series. Pull that leg really deep for 2 and 1 and switch. Now the levels of the strength, so you can either A, go at a high diagonal, 45 degrees, or 2 inches off the mat. I'm going to go 2 inches off the mat because this is all about the core. So really firing up those lower, middle, and upper abdominals. Pulling that leg in nice and deep for single leg. Pull it in deeper, 2. Pull it in deeper, 3. We switch for 4. And 5, last one, and 6. We're not going to stop. Bring the legs in. Try to hover your head even higher off the mat. Look into your belly. You extend the arms and legs out, and we circle the arms right back in. Extend the arms and legs out, and circle the leg right back in. And extend it out. Keep your neutral spine. Don't arch your lower back off the mat when you extend the arms and legs out, and bring it in. And for more of a challenge, you can go 2 inches off the mat, and bring it in. Last one. And out, and in. Keep your head off. Going into scissors one more time. This time, pulse the bottom leg. So pulse down, down, and switch. Pulse down, down, and switch. Down, down, and switch. Down, down, and switch. One more time each side. Down, down, and switch. Last one. Down, down, and switch. Bring your legs straight to the ceiling. Place the hands behind the base of your head. We lower the legs down for 3, 2, 1, come right back up. Make sure you keep your neutral spine. Tailbone driving down. Lower down for 3, 2, 1, come right back up. Elbows wide, lower down for 3, 2, hold. Come right back up. Lower down for 3, 2, hold. Come right back up. Last one. Lower down for 3, 2, hold. Come right back up. Bend your legs at a tabletop position. Keep your elbows wide. We're going to bend the right knee in. The opposite elbow comes to opposite knee. And we switch. Come to your center. Twist to the left. Come up and over to your center. Keep your elbows wide. Twist to the right. Up and over. Find your center. Twist to the left. We're almost done, guys. Come up and over. Let's speed out for 5. And we switch for 5 and 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up even higher and relax it down. All right, if your abdominals are not on fire after that one, I don't know what to tell you guys. That was pretty tough for me. Go ahead and extend your legs nice and long and your arms above your head, and just let that rib cage open and flare up a little bit. Feeling a little bit of a stretch in those abdominals, but not too much of a break because I want to keep that flow going, keep that burning sensation going. So really close your rib cage, find that neutral position, bring your hands above your head, and roll yourself up to a sitting position for spine stretch forward. So sitting on your mat, open your legs a little wider than the mat. So my heels are off my mat because I want a little bit more of a stretch.
and I'm gonna bring my hands in front. Now, really making sure this is as equally as a stretch as it is an abdominal engagement. If you're really tight in the hamstrings and you can't seem to find the tall sitting position, maybe think about bending the legs slightly so you can get up on those sits bones, because I'd rather you be sitting up tall with bent legs and straight legs and being back here, because it's all about the posture and working correctly. Bring your hands in front, plug your shoulders back, lifting through the top of the head. You're gonna take a nice big inhale. You're gonna exhale, contract it forward, push your back of your spine to the back edge of your mat while your hands go to the front edge of your mat. So you're really counter stretching. My abdominals are pulled in, and then roll yourself up. Adding those 4 breaths, we inhale through the nose, you exhale through the mouth, contract it forward. And then down here, take a big inhale, and exhale, roll it right back up. Plug your shoulders back, lift up nice and tall. Inhale through the crown of the head, exhale, dive it over. Like you're going over a big beach ball. And then inhale, and then exhale, blow yourself right back up to this tallest sitting position you can manage. Inhale to lift up, exhale to go forward. Big stretch out. And then rolling through your spine, sitting up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders back. Let's go one more time. Inhale to lift up, exhale to go over. Good. And then finding your balance, finding the length through the top of your head. And let's go into open leg rocker. So usually when we're doing all about the core, I would just bring the legs straight up, but because I have such a big range of people who may be first time taking, not sure, so I want to make sure everyone's comfortable. So go ahead and bring yourself a little bit to the front edge of your mat so you have room behind you to rock back. I'm going to go ahead and bend the right leg. So my knee's at an open tabletop position, my knee's in line with my shoulders. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab the left knee and grab a balance. So I'm hovering over that tailbone. My chest is wide, collarbones are open like you're wearing a diamond necklace, nice and wide open. Good. Now if you're comfortable with this and you want to stick to this position, you can. For more advances, to extend the legs nice and long and grab at the ankles, calves, or quads. It's up to you what you feel comfortable doing. You're going to go ahead and tilt your tailbone and rock back to the tips of the shoulder blades. Come right back up and find your balance. Open your chest. Proud heart. You rock it back and rock it up. Nice proud chest. Open. Make sure the legs are only shoulder distance apart. You rock it back and rock it up. Find a nice long length through the top of the body. We rock it back. You rock it up. Open. Nice and long. Last one. Rock it back and rock it up. Find your balance. Close the legs, whether they're bent or straight, and find your teaser. You're going to lower yourself down. Nice, slow, and control. Keep the legs up. Good. Now continuing the movement, the legs are going to lift up behind you, and you circle the legs to the right edge of your mat. For corkscrew, you circle to the left edge of the mat, and then we come right back up with those hips. Another modification is you do not have to lift your hips up. You just do the circles to the right and to the left. It's up to you. But the hip lift really engages that lower part of your abdominals, and finding that slow, controlled circle will really fire up the abs and get that nice toning and sculpting position on the tummy. Come right back up. We circle to the right, down, around, and up. Try to keep the tension out of your shoulders and keep space between your chin and your chest. To the left, down, around, and up. Last one each side. We circle to the right, down, around, and up. Last time, we circle to the left, down, around, and up. And of course, I'm going to continue this. If you can, guys, roll yourself down and then come up to a teaser one more time. Find your balance, bent or straight. Hold for 3, 2, and 1. Place your feet flat on the mat. Beautiful. Love doing corkscrew with coming up. And I can even maybe take this class to just kind of explain some of the exercises. So that one, you really want to feel it in those lower abdominals. And that's what's picking you up and then slowly controlling that sacrum down to the mat. That slow controlled movement is really going to fire up your powerhouse and understand your core. Okay, sitting nice and tall for saw. Today we're going to get a little bit deeper into that upper body stretch. Usually it's done with the hands nice and long, but there's many ways to do it. Today we're going to place the hands behind the base of our skull, just the fingertips, and this is going to get a deeper stretch in that chest. So again, if you are a little bit tight in those hamstrings and you're sitting back on that tailbone, maybe think about bending the legs and coming up on those bony parts of your sits bones. Okay? And that's the tall position that I want. Bring your hands behind the head. We're gonna twist to the right. Now the opposite elbow is gonna reach to the opposite pinky toe. And reach it forward. Now if your sits bone left the mat, the left one, think about really driving it down. That's gonna get your deep stretch. We come up, sit to the right side, find your center, twist to the left. And then opposite elbow to opposite pinky finger, keep your opposite sits bone on the mat. Come up, keep your elbows wide. That's where that big stretch is coming. Nice proud chest, open. Up and over to the right. We come up, grow through the top of the head. Find your center, twist to the left. Contract it forward. Come up nice and tall and wide. One more time each side because it feels good. We lean over and down. Find your center. You're twisting. I think about wringing out my abdominals. If I'm wringing out a towel, that's what I'm doing with my abs. Come up and find your center. Good, let's work those obliques a little bit. So keep the hands behind the head, and all you're gonna do is lean up and over to the right side, but really think about keeping that left sits bone on the mat. So don't lift it up, keep it down. Use your obliques to come right back up. We lean to the left, keep your shoulders down, keep your elbows wide, and then come right back up. Use the abdominals to lift up. Try not to use the arms. Lower down to the right. Scoop in those abdominals, keep them nice and in, and come right back up. Last one, we lean to the left. Go as far as you can, and then come right back up. Good. Object of saw is to really make sure the sits bone stays flat on the mat. That's gonna give you that nice big stretch and opening through the hips, as well as keeping that abdominal engagement. Good. Let's go ahead and close the legs, and we're gonna go into our stomach. So, going into our tummy series. Flip over, and make sure you're nice and situated on the mat, which means you're nice and even. Good. Going back to that same position we worked in saw, we're gonna place the hands behind the back of our head. Now really think about scooping through the belly for this exercise. So if you're more beginner and you're not feeling comfortable with placing your hands behind the head, you can place them right underneath your shoulders and do the same thing and just push up and then lower down to find that nice abdominal engagement. We want to think about a little ant crawling underneath. I'm going to place the hands behind the base of my neck. My legs are glued together and they never leave the mat this entire exercise. Inhale, just scoop the tummy. Find that engagement. You're going to exhale. Proud chest, elbows wide, lift up through the heart, not the head. So don't break the neck, lift through your chest and lower down with control. It's a lot harder with the hands behind because there's a little bit more of the flexion into that back. So inhale, scoop through the belly and lift up. It's not about how high or how flexible you are. It's about keeping those abdominals off the mat while you lift up. And then lower down, then you can relax them. So scoop the belly, a little space in between the abdominals. Find that lift without touching. I'm not coming very high up because I want to keep them off the floor. And then lower down with control. We're gonna do that one more time and add a pulse. So inhale, scoop the belly. Exhale, lift your upper body up. Give me, let's do 6 pulses up. For 6, 5 small pulses. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down with control. I think, go back into a child's pose position, stretch it out. But I think that's the hardest exercise to find in the abdominals. A lot of, especially dancers, the ones I teach a lot is they really want to put it into that lower back extension work, which I'm trying to teach them not to do that so we can protect our arabesques and everything in class and have a longer lifespan in ballet. So really think about coming from that lower abdominal part of your body. Lower yourself down. We're going to prop ourselves up nice and tall on our elbows. Palms can face down or they can make like gingerbread hands, fingers, and just kind of stick them down onto the mat. It's up to you which one you want. Just make sure that you're not sinking into those shoulders. You're really lifted through the tummy and through the upper body. Pelvis stays flat on the mat. Go ahead and kick your bottom 2 times. 1, 2, and switch. 1, 2, and switch. I find this one very complicated. 1, 2, and switch. Mainly because I want to keep my abdominals nice and supported for that lower back, but I also want to keep my pelvis on the mat. So if you're really tight in the quads, this one might be very complicated. 1, 2, and if you're feeling fun, you can do a little flex, point, and switch. Flex, point, and switch. Little coordination. Flex, point, and switch. Flex, point, and switch. Last one each side. Flex, point and switch. Last one, flex, point and switch. Lower yourself down, right cheek is on the mat. Go ahead and lock your thumbs together, bring them high on the base of your back. For double leg, you're gonna give your bottom 3 kicks. The same rules apply as single leg. Keep the pelvis flat on the mat. Lift almost like you're thinking from the knees and the quads. You're gonna kick your bottom together. 1, 2, and 3. Roll your shoulders back and lengthen through the heart. So don't break your neck, keep the elongation. We switch cheeks and you go to the other side. Kick for 3 and 2 and 1. Think about rolling the shoulders back and lifting through the chest. Switch to the other side and we kick for 3 and 2 and 1. Press your pelvis down. Make sure you're doing that for those kicks. Switch to the other side. We kick for 3 and 2 and 1. Roll the shoulders back. We're gonna do that one more time each side. And we kick for 3 and 2 and 1. Rolling the shoulders back, finding the length. Keep the feet on the mat. Other side. Last one. We kick for 3, 2, and 1. Roll the shoulders back. This time, bring your hands by your side. Lift your feet off the mat. Beat your heels together. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Go back into a child's pose position and stretch it out one more time. Counter stretching from where we just worked. So making sure that we're not working too much in that back. We're keeping that nice and flexible and mobile. And come right back out because we're not going to do a long stretch because we're going to keep our flow going. That's part of the workout in Pilates. Is to keep going, going, going and never kind of stopping a lot. Good. So bring your legs together for neck pull. Definitely a more advanced exercise, but really great for the triggering of the abdominals. If you have a ball, which I didn't call for this in the exercise, to let y'all know, but if you have a ball, small squishy ball, or a magic circle, you can go ahead and place it between your ankles, and that really helps for stability and neck pull. Just a little bit of advice. Bring your hands behind the base of your head. Let's break this up into 3. You're gonna dive your head in between your legs, and you're gonna sit up nice and tall. Let's just do that, okay? So dive your head in between your legs. I have a little bit of a slight space in between my feet, so my legs are about hip distance apart, and they're flexing back. Dive your head. Sit up nice and tall. And remember when you're diving, you're scooping. So I'm scooping over something, and sit up nice and tall. Last one, then we're gonna add the second part. You dive your head in between your legs. You sit up nice and tall. You're gonna hinge it back at the waist, and then come right back up. Try to keep that flat alignment. Good, dive your head in between your legs. Sit up nice and tall. Elbows wide, hinge it back at the waist, and contract, come up. Good, let's just do that one more time, and then we're gonna flow all the way through. Dive your head in between your legs, sit up nice and tall, hinge it back at the waist, and then you're gonna contract the waist and then roll it down. When the wing blades touch, that's right, you come right back up, but keep your elbows wide. Dive your head in between your legs, sit up nice and tall, hinge it back at the waist, and then contract, roll down. We come right back up, dive your head in between your legs, sit up nice and tall, hinge it back at the waist, contract, roll it down. One more time, dive your head in between your legs, sitting up nice and tall, hinge it back at the waist, contract the belly, roll it down. Good. I'm gonna situate myself on the mat because it tends to move. Good, just lower yourself down. Make sure you're nice and centered. Beautiful, guys. Let's get into some bridge work. So we're getting down to those glutes, but always remembering that the abdominals are working the entire time, especially when going into this exercise. The lower back can be, if it's not supported correctly, take a little bit too much weight, and we don't want that. So because I want to do a core challenge, I'm going to go ahead and give you the option to bring your arms above the head. This is just going to allow you to not have so much stability in those arms, but if you need the help, and that's okay, you can go ahead and just bring them at a low V. So up to you what you want to do. I'm going to do the core challenge with you if you're doing it. So make sure your feet are not too wide. I like to think they're like not my hip level, but a little closer. And then they're pretty close to my bottom. But just remember, the further they are in, the harder. The further they are out, a little bit easier. So just be mindful of that. Go ahead and tuck your pelvis, squeeze your glutes, squeeze your hamstrings, and melt your spine up nice and long into that bridge position. Keep space between the chin and the chest. Energy going on the top of the quads, and melt yourself down, upper, middle, and lower back. And we're gonna come right back up.
Lower back tucks and we peel it up to a nice bridge position, keeping space between your chest and rolling it down for 3 and 2 and 1. Let's come right back up because we're going to add a nice fun variation, guys. You're going to sit up here. We're going to go ahead and dip that hip going into those obliques and abdominals. You're going to drop the hip like a marble's just rolling off, and then you're going to come up. It doesn't have to touch. It's just kind of teetering to each side. Left hip dips. Come right back up. Try saying that 3 times fast. Left hip dips. Down, and then come right back up. Left hip dips. Come right back up. One more time each side. We dip to the right and up. Left hip dips and up. Now give me 8 pulses up with the hips for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower yourself down with control. Good. We're not done yet. We have one more exercise that I want to go into really finding stabilization in the core and shifting the weight to one side in that position. Okay, so go ahead and tuck the pelvis, find your alignment, and roll yourself up nice and long. This time, if you want to go ahead and lower those hands, you might want to. It's pretty challenging, but if you want to take the challenge, go ahead. Think about really lifting through one side, but keeping the right side just as even. Shift your weight to the left side. Go ahead and pick your right leg up off the mat for a little march and lower down. Now shift your weight to the right side. Lift your left leg up. And we're marching it out. Right leg comes up. Shift your weight. And down. Left leg comes up. And down. It's not very high. Last one to each side. And down. And up. And down. Come even higher into your glutes. And melt yourself down with control, nice and slowly. Hug your legs into your chest. Give yourself a second. Maybe rock your spine from side to side, getting rid of any tension. Good. Let's flip it over to our side series. All right, so really making sure that you're lined up at the back of the edge of the mat and then bringing your feet to the front edge, okay? And also just making sure that you're nice and situated. It's very important that when you're taking the side series that you're in a nice alignment. It's kind of when you do a tendu side and your instructor says to bring it to the front of you a little more because if it's too far side, it turns in. Same thing with this applies. So line yourself up to the back edge of the mat and bring your feet to the front edge. Your hips are nice and stacked. And because we're gonna fire up that core, you're gonna place your hand behind the base of your head. So basically you're not having any help in this side series. But if you need some support and it becomes too much, meaning that your placement comes off and I don't want that, I want you to place your hand down. And that's okay, because I'd rather have clean placement than working through wrong. Lift your top leg up and always starting with those kicks. You're gonna kick to the front 1, kick to the front 2, and elongate to the back. We're gonna do one more slow, but we're gonna actually go a little quicker to really feel those abdominals working. So here we go. We kick, kick, and point to the back. Kick, kick, and point to the back. Keep going. Kick, kick. Try not to move anything in the upper body. Just move that leg and feel it through the abdominals. 2 more times. Kick, kick, and point to the back. Last one. Kick, kick, and point to the back. Bring the legs together, keeping that flow going. We're going to go ahead and turn it into a flex position. Flex it up, point, resist it down. Keeping it parallel, we flex it up, point, resist it down. Keep your elbows wide. Flex it up, point, resist it down. And flex it up, point, resist it down. Good. Keep going up, and then we're going to pulse that leg up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Resist it down, doing the same thing with the leg turned out. Really good for my dancers. Just remember it's not about the height so much, it's mainly about the control. So turn that top leg out. You're gonna point it up, flex, resist it down. Point it up, flex, resist it down. Good, make sure you're not falling back on those hips, especially with a turned out leg. Flex it down, keep your abdominals and powerhouse working. Last one, flex. And now point the foot. Let's add those quick circles because we're going to use the core to keep it still. So quick. Go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reverse for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Good. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and bring those legs in and working into that oblique. A lot of people think it's mainly for the upper body, but it has a lot to do with that oblique side abdominal. So place this hand, which I've done before with y'all, I think on this account, I can't remember, but place this hand on the mat and then extend that arm nice and long. So let's keep the hand, sorry, the head's in the hand, sorry, my fault.
Keep your head in your hands. This hand is flat on the mat, and we're gonna work the obliques to come up. Try not to go forward, you wanna come straight up. So push the hand into the mat and come up with that upper body, and then lower down with control. Even if you come 2 inches off the mat, that's okay. And come on up, and lower down. 2 more. Come on up, and lower down. Last one. We come up and we hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower. Beautiful, guys. Awesome. We're going to go ahead and just flip to the other side. Instead of doing, usually I'll have you flip on your stomach and do some more glute work, but today we're going to focus mainly on those side obliques. So we're going to do a side series, and then we're going to come up to the knees and do a little side work. So go ahead and lie yourself down to the back edge of the mat and bring your feet to the front edge. And then place that hand behind the base of your neck. And make sure your hips are nice and stacked. You have a little mouse house underneath your rib cage. That's how you keep your abdominal engagement, and a little space underneath that armpit. Lift your right leg up. You're going to kick to the front. 1. Go a little slower. 2. We'll do 1 more slow, then we'll add some speed. We kick to the front. 1. Kick to the front. 2. Now you feel the engagement. You feel the stability. Here we go. We kick, kick, and point to the back. Kick, kick, and point to the back. A few more times. We kick, kick, and point to the back. 3 more. Kick, kick, and point to the back. Keep the abdominal still. Kick, kick, and back. Last one. Kick, kick, and back. Bring the legs together for our up and down. Make sure you keep them parallel. Hips are nice and stacked. The leg flexes, articulates, and then points down. Flex, energy out the heel, and then articulate, point through the toes. We flex it up, articulate, and point it down. Good. 3 more. Flex up, articulate, point it down. If you're really using that articulation, whether you're a dancer or not, it's really going to start toning those calves, elongating that energy out. Keep it up and pulse for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Let's go ahead and turn that top leg out. The same thing applies. Just make sure that when you turn that top leg out, you don't fall to the back. Point it up, flex, resist it down. And we point up, flex, resist it down. Point it up, flex, resist it down. 2 more. Point it up, flex, resist it down. Last one. Point it up, flex, and you know what's next. We're going to go into those quick 5 circles. Point your foot. We circle for 5 and 4 and 3. Belly in. 2 and 1. Reverse for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lower the foot down. Bring the leg into tabletop position. So knees are in line with the hips, and I'm pressing my right hand into the mat. Remembering if you go forward, the head's the heaviest part of the body, so you're making it harder to come up. So try and just make an arch up towards your right hip. So really using that oblique muscle. We're going to push the right hand into the mat, and you come up, lift your body up. Use the oblique, use the forearm, lower down. Good. We come up, push, and lower down. 2 more. Push that arm into the mat, come on up, and lower it down. Last one. Come on up, and we hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Beautiful, guys. Go ahead and sit up. Why don't we get that side a break? So we'll switch to the other side. So switch your feet around. And let's go into all 4s. So we're going to work into some of these side obliques and support as well, and getting into that booty a little more. So I'm going to give that left side a little bit of a break. We'll go to the right side. So I'm going to fall over to my right hand. So my left hand's behind my head. I'm going to lower my right arm down to the mat. I'm going to bring my left leg out to the front edge of my mat so I'm nice and aligned. Kind of not in the camera. I'm trying to get the camera. There we go. I wish the lives could happen the other way, but it can't on Instagram. They need to fix that. So try and align yourself with the shoulder right underneath the wrist, hand behind the head. Lift that top leg up. Find your core position. Really tight through the belly. You're going to circle the leg 3 times. Circle for 3, circle for 2, circle for 1. Reverse your circles for 3 and 2 and 1. Let's go again. Forward for 3 and 2 and 1. Reverse your circles for 3 and 2 and 1. Flex the foot. You're going to kick it to the front 1 little bit and then kick it to the back. Kind of like what we did on our side series. Kick to the front 1, kick to the front 2. I really think about the abdominals leading. Kick, engage. And to the back. One more time each side. We kick to the front. We kick to the back. Find your center. Give me 5 pulses up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here's the fun part. Bend that leg and find yourself up. pushing yourself to that other arm, and let's get ourselves ready for the other side. So place the right arm behind the head, left hand falls to the mat, bring your right leg out to the front edge of the mat. Make sure your shoulder's in line with the wrist, lift that right leg up. Here we go. Circles for 3 and 2 and 1. Reverse your circles for 3 and 2 and 1. Reverse the other way for 3 and 2 and 1. Reverse 3 and 2 and 1. Flex the foot. We kick to the front and flex it back. Kick to the front. Stella wants to say hi. Back and front and back. One more. And front and back. Keep the abdominals still. Keep your alignment. Pulse that last up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the leg. Shoot yourself up. Find that balance. And lower yourself down. And let's get into, we're going to finish it out. So I want to make sure I have enough time to answer any questions. Teaser. And then probably do a few crunches, and that's all we're going to have time for, okay? So go ahead and find yourself on the mat. We're going to have to flow through this pretty quickly. I only have 15 minutes left. Let's actually 10 minutes. Lower yourself down onto the mat. Good. So make sure you're nice and centered. Teaser, there's a series of 3, so 3 sets of 3. If you feel more comfortable with sticking with teaser 1, do that through the entire reps. Or you can advance on with me, it's up to you. First challenge is to place the hands behind the creases of your legs. You're gonna peel your chest up and you're gonna find that balance. My legs are together and I just have a light touch behind the creases. Now lower yourself down for 3 and 2 and 1. As the wing blades touch, we come right back up, balancing on the tailbone, hovering. And lower for 3 and 2 and 1. Remember, light touch. Because if you guessed it, after this last set, come up. Lower down for 3 and 2 and 1. The next time for teaser 2, we don't use the hands. But if you would like to continue using the hands, I'd rather you keep placement. Here we go. Hands are long by your side. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. Inhale, exhale, come right back up. Proud chest, arms are long. Lower down for 3. My legs are still bent. 2 and 1. Wing blades touch. We come right back up. Hold. Lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Come right back up, chest wide. Nice long length. Lower down for 3 and 2 and 1. Beautiful, guys. The last set, a little bit more challenging because you're going to extend the arms and legs together. So the legs shoot out, or you can stick with teaser 2. But let's go in for teaser 3 if you're ready. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders up. You extend the arms and legs out together. Now you're going to lower down straight. At the last moment, bend them in. But when you touch your wing blades, you come right back up. Shoot the legs out, shoot the arms out. Lower down for 3, 2, and 1. Last one, come right back up. Hold, hold, and lower down for 3, 2, 1. Hug your legs into your chest. Beautiful, guys. Awesome. Let's finish out with a few push-ups. So flip over to your all fours. Now, plank and push-ups really comes from the core. A lot of upper body does work, but if you have that strong connection with your abdominals, it's a piece of cake to just stay there. So really think about scooping and finding that neutral abdominal work that we just worked for the last hour on, okay? So elongate the top of the head, keep your hands underneath your shoulders, bring your left leg back, bring your right leg back. You have a nice alignment in the spine. Don't drop your head, it's the heaviest part of the body. You're gonna bend your arms and then come on up for 1 push-up. Bend them down, push up 2. Bend them down, push up 3. 1 more, bend them down. Let's fire up and finish strong, guys. So walk your right hand into the front of your head, and then if you can, twist your body. Lift that left arm up for a side plank. Good. If you need assistance, bring that foot in front on the mat, or both feet on top. Now give me 5 pulses up with the hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands down to the mat. And again, same thing. 4 push-ups, then other side, then you're done, guys. So push it down for 1, and up, 2, and up, 3, and up, 4, and up. Walk your left hand into the center of your body. Twist to the other side. Find your side plank. 5 pulses up. Hips for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find your plank. Find that position. Scoop through the belly, hips drive up. Take a nice stretch. Drive those heels down. Go ahead and walk your hands back. Try not to waddle on the hips if you can. Walk your feet together. Slowly roll through your spine. Take 6 counts if you can. 3, 2, head's the last thing. You can't see me, but I want you to just take a nice big inhale. Lift your arms above the head. And then take a nice big exhale. Push gravity down. Push the energy down. One more time. Inhale. And then exhale. Let all the air out of your body. Feel the length. Feel how strong you are. And y'all are done. Oh, that's it, guys. Whew. Great job today. Eyes are burning. I like going back and reading all the comments. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Kelsey, for having me. And for all your sweet awesomeness. I absolutely adore you and your line, and you've been fabulous and so sweet to me. And it's amazing what I think COVID, yes, has brought a lot of pain and sorrow and hurt and challenging times, but I also feel like I've met so many new people through Instagram Live and just coming together in the arts. So I think that that was a big plus. I got to meet Kelsey, and I think that that's great. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed this class. If you want more, I'm still doing a few here and there on my account. So just go follow Tay Tay Ballet, and I'll go ahead and save this if you want to come back and take it. Y'all are very welcome. How often would you recommend taking an ab-focused class like this? It's a great question. I think it depends on what your outlook is. If you are, for example, a dancer needing to get back in shape, I noticed that because I was doing this during quarantine and teaching 3 classes on Instagram Live almost every single day, I just started getting back into the studio, and it hasn't been that bad. And I think because a solid part of your training comes from the abdominals and the core, that's where all your strength is. And then when dancers realize that, it's a lot of help. So I think that that's great. But if you're a normal person, and when I'm doing normal is like you have, doctor, desk job, whatever it is you're doing, designer, anything like that, and you're looking to shape up, tone up, and wanting to get results, I would definitely recommend one class a day. I definitely recommend a Power Pilates class Monday through Friday, and I promise you, and you can call me out on it, if you really stick to a regimen every single day, you will see results within a month. Guarantee it. I promise you. It's mind-blowing what Pilates can do to your body. That's why Joseph Pilates created it. So I recommend it at least once a day if you can. Don't worry, I feel kind of nauseous when I'm talking and doing it at the same time. But thank you, I appreciate it. Yes, I think the core, especially if you're not even a dancer and you're having lower back pains, swaying in the back, scoliosis, getting a stronger core is going to keep anything from back there being agitated, strengthens your posture. It's good for all-around health. So really recommend jumping into a Pilates class at least 1 to 2 times a week if you can. And you will see a difference, I swear to you. So, yes. Well, thank you so much for having me, guys. And I'll go ahead and save this. Kelsey, you're wonderful. And just stay tuned on her amazing stuff that she's got coming up. I've gotten to take a peek. I even got to test some of her products. And guys, there's some wonderful things that she's coming up with, and I think it's fabulous. If you're looking for a unique style that really isn't out there, great quality, she's got it. So go ahead and take a look and follow her, and make sure you really pay attention to what she's coming out with next. And thank you so much. I hope everyone enjoyed this. Happy Wednesday, and have a great rest of your week. If no one has any more questions. All right, guys, thank you so much. I gotta get logged off because Instagram's gonna boot me. But thank you, and I will see y'all later.